football playoff national championship. You know, it's the biggest stage in the sport. It's where legends are born and dynasties are made. But the 2026 championship, well, it gave us something a little different. A story that felt, honestly, almost impossible.
So on one side of the field, you've got the Miami Hurricanes, a true college football powerhouse. And on the other side, the Indiana Hoosiers, a program that's been called one of the losingest teams in college football history. I mean, this was the ultimate David versus Goliath matchup, a total clash between a legacy program and a historic long shot.
So, of course, the whole world was watching and asking that one simple question. How on earth could a team with a century of futility even plan to take down a giant like that on the biggest stage of them all? Well, the answer started right away with a huge statement. Right from the opening kickoff, Indiana didn't just look like they belonged, they looked like they were there to dominate. And it all began with their defense. The way they shut Miami down was just stunning. That high-powered offense was completely neutralized. We're talking 3 and out. Then another 3 and out. They couldn't convert a single third down. Indiana's defense, with this aggressive press coverage scheme they hadn't shown all season, was just a brick wall. The commentators, they put it perfectly after a huge sack by the team captain, Aiden Fizer. This wasn't just good defense. It was a physical, almost emotional statement. The Hoosiers were flexing their muscles and sending a very loud message. And while Miami's offense was just spinning its wheels, Indiana's was like a well-oiled machine. Led by their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, they put together this masterful, methodical 12-play drive, just controlling the clock, marching right down the field. And the result of all that early dominance? 20-0. After their fullback just powered his way into the end zone, I think everyone watching at home was just staring at the score. The underdog wasn't just competing, they were in complete command of the game. But, you know, this is a championship game. And powerhouse teams like Miami, they don't just roll over. With one single play, the entire script of this game was about to get flipped on its head. Just when it seemed like everybody was starting to write Miami off, just when the game was starting to feel like a blowout, you had to wonder, right? Could this sleeping giant finally wake up and punch back? And the answer was a huge yes. Their running back, Mark Fletcher, just explodes through the line, racing down the field for a massive touchdown. In a flash, Miami was right back in the fight. The crowd went nuts. Suddenly, we had a ball game. And that sudden strike, it basically set the stage for what would become an absolutely wild fourth quarter. This wasn't really football anymore. It felt like a heavyweight title fight, with both teams just trading haymakers in this chaotic, unforgettable final period. The pace was it was insane. First, Indiana blocks a punt for a touchdown. Just unbelievable. But Miami answers immediately with another Fletcher touchdown. Then Mendoza, the Heisman winner, does what Heisman winners do and takes off for a heroic run of his own. But they're not done. Miami's Malachi Toney weaves through the entire defense for another score. It was just back and forth and back again. Pure, beautiful chaos. And that touchdown run by Mendoza, that was a true Heisman moment. You know, it's that signature play where a superstar just puts the team on his back when the lights are brightest. His incredible QB draw, a play they'd hardly even run all night, was the absolute definition of clutch. So after all of that craziness, it all came down to this. One final, fateful drive. Miami, down by 3 points, with the ball, and one last chance to win the whole thing. And the pressure here was just immense. You've got under 2 minutes to play. You need to go 75 yards for a touchdown to win it. And here's the kicker, 0 timeouts left. Every single play, every second ticking off the clock was do or die for quarterback Carson Beck and the Hurricanes. And the tension was just, you could feel it through the screen. Miami takes this brutal delay of game penalty that pushes them back. You think, okay, maybe that's it. But then boom, Indiana gets hit with a roughing the passer call, giving Miami a fresh set of downs and new life. It was just an absolute emotional roller coaster. And then it happened. The final play. Beck steps up in the pocket and he just launches it deep, down towards the end zone, going for the win. But the pass, it's just a bit underthrown. And coming down with it is Indiana's Jamari Sharp, a kid who's actually from Miami, of all places. He makes the interception, he seals the championship. The announcer in the booth, he just captured the moment perfectly. This wasn't just a win. It wasn't even just an upset. It was, without any doubt, one of the greatest stories the sport of college football has ever seen. And just like that, it was real. The Indiana Hoosiers, a team that for decades was basically synonymous with losing, had climbed the mountain. From a historical afterthought to the undisputed kings of college football. A century of futility, completely forgotten in one incredible night.
And it really leaves you with one final thought, doesn't it? We all watch sports for the drama, the skill, the incredible competition. But what is it about a story like this, the impossible dream becoming reality, that really grabs us and sticks with us forever? What is it that makes an underdog story so powerful?